Alright, everybody. Let's try this again. Or for the first time, I mean. If you already watched the last two videos I made on terraforming this, well, if you watched the videos before I unlisted them and then deleted them, then yeah, I'm just remaking these because those last two videos were well, they weren't exactly pleasant to go back and rewatch them and realize that I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't get too much into the sauce when I make videos on this game. Anyway, uh, this is. Oh, there's no game audio. Oops. Hang on, let me fix that. Well, there's no game audio for me. There we go. So I'm on the last objective here. I cut out basically an hour and a half of me just sitting in the chair, clicking through all the options, and um, no voice dialogue came up during that hour and a half. So that was neat. And yeah, in order to fill a bunch of the dead air of me just staring at the screen for an hour and a half, I I played the Boron soundtrack, which is a very lovely soundtrack. I like it a lot. Ah, there's my glasses. I'm looking around for my glasses here. Oh man, I smudged them really bad. Well, anyway, yeah, I've been just in setup mode. Yeah, the last videos I made was an hour and a half of just nothing, basically, and then the completion and a whole bunch of thank yous for watching the series. So I will do my thank yous afterwards, of course, but let's just get this finished real quick, shall we?
We have completed our current terraforming project.
Today, we are experiencing history. Here I am on the freshly named world of Cinder, standing in a field. The weather is warm, but not uncomfortably so. A few clouds pass overhead, and a light breeze rustles the grain around me. To think that not too long ago this place was about as inhospitable as they come. It's staggering. One can't help but be hopeful for the future. If things like this can be achieved, well, this was Tracy Barron, reporting on location for ANC News. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some awe to get back to.
And there we have it. The planet is fully terraformed. Um, if you noticed in the background of that video, the crop on the ground was yellow. When the crop goes to that state, it is ready to harvest. So that's pretty cool. Just a little fun fact I know from actually working in a field with crops like that, grain crops, specifically wheat crops. So that's cool. Also, the the poor reporter is going bald in a terrible looking way, which I think that's kind of accurate to real life of how stressful being a reporter could be. So leave a comment down below in the YouTube video if YouTube or not if YouTube if actual reporting is that stressful that you do go bald. Anyway, I got a whole bunch of rewards out of that. Or well, I got reputation gain. Here we go. Mission completed +2 rep. I think I went all the way to +30. There we are. +30 with the anti-gun. So destroying their whole defensive fleet to bring my terraforming station over here didn't do didn't do too much damage to the reputation. All right, so be it. There is one more terraforming option I wanted to do. I want to lower the temperature down to the green zone. That way it's not too hot, not too cold. I decided to I started some of these and then realized I had enough material on the station to just skip all of this nonsense and skip the waiting. Oh, I need to take care of carbon dioxide. Okay, that's what I need to do. I should have enough to do this. Oh, yeah, more than enough. I want to take care of the carbon dioxide and the methane. Oh, the methane's gone. Cool. So does that take care of the carbon dioxide? The temperature should drop.
The materials will be sent down as soon as possible.
Basically, I want to see the planet change from this. You can see that there's hot spots on the planet still, magma zones and whatnot. I want to change the temperature of the planet to something more habitable, livable. There we go. What else was I gonna look at? Seats out. Oh yeah, there we go. There are no other mission offers anymore because I have finished all main missions, all other terraforming, or all terraforming available, and I have no more active missions, no more upkeep missions. It's all done. I've done basically everything you can do in the game, mission-wise, storyline-wise, to get unique voice lines out of it. The rest is up to if I want to play Ventures and continue the sandbox, which would be interesting, but not by much. I mean, Ventures is cool and all, but now that I don't have anything to do but watch the game in set mode, I kind of ready to put it down for a little while and try a different game. I have tons of games on my backlog that I can pick up and play. This one was just entertaining. I started out with the goal of doing terraforming, and I really wanted to finish that goal. So this is where I am now. The Xenon are no longer a threat to anyone in this game because they don't exist. They don't have a sector claimed. So the Xenon threat is dealt with. They keep trying to rebuild stations, a shipyard and a wharf right there, and the ministry keeps blowing them up for me, which is great. The curbs are expanding. It's taken them a very long time to start expanding. I stopped selling ships to the curbs, and specifically, um, actually, I need to exclude the Argon too. Now that I think about it, because I want the patriarchy to get bigger. And it looks like the curbs are now going through and destroying the shipyard and wharf that the Xenon are trying to build out here as well, which is good. That's what I like to see. I went through all the effort of eradicating the Xenon from uh, here, so or everywhere. I've wiped them all out. There is no more Xenon, so that's great. That makes me happy. Actually, when I'm thinking about it, I'll go through that rule setup here in a second. The try are well, the Xenon's really not even trying to, haha, trying. The Xenon aren't really trying to reclaim Emperor's Pride either. So those two spots where they keep building stations is where they keep trying to come back from. There's a Xenon asteroid over here, but it's inactive, and who knows if that will become a threat later on. That'll probably take some like game updates, patches, DLC, something. EgoSoft did just put out a video not too long ago, about a day ago, about working on in-game content, and that's pretty cool. Hopefully there will be some more like late game, end game content to work on that's not a bunch of go fetch quests. Something interesting. And the next time I play this game, will be heavily modded. And I'll probably do a lot. If I do check something out, I'll probably check it out off stream first, just to see if I actually want to make any content on it, if it's any good, or good enough for me to stream, I should say. It probably will be. They do a good job with this game, in my opinion. And the sandbox was pretty fun. Terraforming went on a little longer than I would have liked, but I did it. I did it all unmodded, so definitely gonna mod the game for terraforming. If I ever decide to do any terraforming ever again, yeah, I'm definitely going to mod my way through that. And instead of taking 2 weeks in Seta mode, it will take 30 minutes in Seta mode instead. And terraforming will be done very quickly because, yeah, waiting around for 2 weeks doing terraforming was not enjoyable for me. Basically, not being able to use my computer to play any other game while waiting for this was not the most enjoyable experience. Anyway, there's an email. I forgot about that. For Atiya's Misfortune, and they're harvesting the crop by hand, which is very interesting. I just realized I was in Seta mode and it affected the video. Let's try that again. There we go. So that looks like they're making at least 1 ton hay bales, or 3/4 ton. It's too hard to tell. And it looks like this person has managed to stack. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's just exercising on the hay bale. Yeah, hay bales don't look like that unless you're harvesting with a machine and picking. Wait a second. This whole harvesting process is wrong. Wait a second. This is all wrong. All right, so this is a grain crop. You can tell. This looks like wheat. And wheat harvesting is done with a giant machine called combine. And that cuts off the straw down below at the bottom of the plant, sends the whole thing into the front of the combine, scoops it all up, sends it up into the middle of into the machine at the center, and then from there, the everything but the very top of the plant is shaken aggressively, and basically all of the little kernels, all of the seeds at the top, is what you're actually harvesting to turn into things like bread or like a malt crop for beer or something like that. So it's all these little seeds up at the top is what you want. And everything else is, well, the seeds are go through like a series of, I think they call them chaffers, but all the seeds get shaken through this machine, get recycled, shaken through until you get just the seeds, and then those go up to go up an elevator and into the very top of the combine, and they sit on top of the machine itself in this huge container. And yeah, that's how this crop is normally harvested. So I have no idea what these people are doing with that scythe. And right here, what they're doing to make these bales is actually that would be the straw. And there are a couple of things with the combine that you can do to make. Well, there are two options that I know of that you can do with the chaff and all the byproduct. Well, byproduct that's not the main crop you're after. You can set the combine to shred the stalks and everything like that to make hay, you can have that actually shred, and then it gets put back, it gets blown out all over behind the combine on the ground, and that puts some nutrients back into the soil. Or you can have it not shred it, and it puts it out into rows, and they make hay bales. Or not, yeah, straw bales, not hay bales. You run a baler over these rows, and then that the straw gets compacted into these bales. So anyway, I don't know how they're putting them into what looks like machine processed bales with a scythe and some guy exercising next to it, but I mean that's a slight inaccuracy. This is neat, or this is kind of interesting. The hover vehicle there. Probably you probably wouldn't want to drive that over the fields because if that's creating a like an air type force that's pushing down, it'll blow all the seeds all over the place. So you probably wouldn't want to drive that through a field. Anyway, just some interesting knowledge while we wait. So I wanted to thank everybody who's watching the videos on YouTube and everybody who comes by and checks out the live stream as well. I did make affiliate, which was really cool. That was pretty neat. So thank you all for watching and coming over and saying hi on the Twitch stream. That helps a lot. Thank you very much. And it also helps when you leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. So thank you for doing both of those. It's helping out a lot. Thank you. Current terraforming project completed, but that's not the one that will lower the temperature. You just gotta mineralize the carbon one time.
We have completed our current terraforming project. Production will start right away.
And of course, leaving comments on the YouTube channel also helps. So there we go. Now hopefully I need to, let's see, which hotkey was it? There we go. Hopefully when the next terraforming project completes, we'll actually see the temperature drop, and it'll actually have an effect on the planet itself, which would be really cool. And it should, I mean, it does happen. The planet does slowly change over time. So that's why we're just kind of sitting here watching the big marble spin around and around, and watching the drones go by. The drones aren't really aligned very well to the planet on this one. They're flying off to the left into outer space somewhere instead of flying towards the planet, which is funny. It's very funny. Yeah. About as exciting as watching paint dry. But all the time, the whole time that I'm in Seta mode, the whole galaxy, every sector, every ship is still being simulated. Seta mode simplifies the math or calculations or something along those lines, and we've seen that troll me a few times. And I got a whole bunch of Asgards blown up when I did that in Seta mode, having them attack the Xenon, but it worked out anyway. I'm not seeing any more drones. Watch, I'm going to open this up and it's going to complete while I'm in the menu. Oh, 4 seconds.
We have completed our current terraforming project.
So hopefully those lava spots will magma lava, same thing. Okay, so the temperature is still too hot, but the global warming effect is no longer happening. So maybe I have to complete one more reactive cloud particles. I should have enough to do this one more time. No. Well, it builds pretty quickly, so I should have enough. Or the
Production
graphene
will start
producers
right away.
produce a lot of graphene. I guess I'll just sit here in this menu and stare at it. Hmm. Looks like I already did this 2 times in vain. I'm just thinking about those last 2 videos and rewatching them back. It was just like, those are not great content for me, especially for me to watch. Being like, what did I do while I was a little too tipsy? It was, it wasn't the best content for me to watch. And if I don't like the content I'm putting out, how do I expect other people, how can I expect other people to like it? So, yep, I said, I put the axe to those and said, no, thank you. Luckily, though, I didn't save the game after I had already completed terraforming the first time, so that's how we're getting this video now. And I already did a lot of work of getting it all uploaded and in the right spot and ready to release. It was just, you know, is what it is, I guess. What day is it today? I think it's Saturday. Sweet, Saturday. There should be a couple of episodes of the shows I want to watch today. I'll have to do that off stream, of course, because they're not, I don't think the shows I want to watch are on Amazon, so I can't do a watch party for those. Unfortunately, but that's what I wanted to do. Or what I want to do is go catch up on some shows and do all that. I also want to continue on with one of the playthroughs I'm doing, and then started another playthrough at the same time. It's gonna be great. I have a whole bunch of video games to play through, and if I don't start playing some of them simultaneously, I am not going to get to play all the games I want to. Especially with new releases and DLCs and everything like that coming up. So yeah, hopefully, well, yeah. The other games that I want to play immediately will have, they are modded or will be modded to just cut down on the downtime, like this right here, so that there's no like dead air in the videos. It's just a lot of interesting things happening all at once, and that'll be good. Should be good enough content, or well, good enough. I guess isn't the right way to put it. It should be good content, not good enough. Just good. Nice. I knew I had enough graphing to get this one done. If I had to do it again, that would have been unideal. And the one thing I forgot to do last time was actually go back into the main menu and look at the budgeted start to see all of the options that I have unlocked. So I'm going to do that this video too, after I complete this one cycle of cooling the planet down a little more. And we should be able to watch that change happen. So that was cool. Since I am using, no, I'm really changing gears here, but since I am using the Twitch Studio app to stream, I have alerts and everything like that all set up and ready to go for all sorts of things. It comes baked in with the app. So that's cool. I have turned down the volume on a lot of them. They were kind of loud, in my opinion. So yeah, if anything like a subscription or something pops through, the alert should go off. And I'll have to, I kind of want to see it and how it goes off just once, just to adjust it all. Because setting it up, it's a little, there's a lot to it, and I haven't learned it all yet. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I'll get to set it up more better, hopefully. But these are still the early days of streaming, so we'll see what happens. Well, early days for me, I should say. Alright, 50 seconds left. Let's close this menu out, turn off the HUD, and watch the planet cool down.
The current terraforming project has completed.
It should, well, I mean, the sun is hitting it, I guess, at an angle where it's lighting the planet up to be all orange looking, but it should turn a little more green. And I think all these large pools of lava or acid, all these large pools of lava or magma should go away. If I did indeed cool the planet down enough. Suppose I should take a look. It's still red. Or it's still orange. Okay, well, maybe that's just going to be a hot planet. Anyway, let's see here. That is all terraforming done. I'm going to take a look at this because why not? Send out another one. This will probably be the last venture mission I do for the duration of the 10 days left. I'm just doing that to save the game. It's just a convenient way to save the game, I guess. Anyway, that's that. Game saved. Let's go into the main menu real quick and look at all the things that I have unlocked, because that's what one of the other goals, or one of the goals was to get all the terraforming done. One of the other goals was to unlock as many things as I could in the budget, or the budgeted start. So now I'm going to go look through and see what I got. Alright, cool. Player. Let's see if we got. hmm, That's silly. could be a boron from this for this budgeted start if I do a budgeted. It's too bad I didn't unlock any Yaki characters. That would have been really cool too to see as an option in here. Nothing too interesting there. Like these are all boring standard options that you always get. I have a ton of ships that I can choose from here. Up to the extra large ships. So that's nice to see. Property station. I guess I should look at knowledge. Let's see here. Universe. Known sectors. All the sectors to be known. Oh, I guess I went over on all of them. Well, let's see here. Should probably just take off. Okay. I could start out as a billionaire, it looks like. A very rich billionaire. Because, of course, at the end of the game, I was a rich billionaire. Here we go. I could go through and untick all the expensive ones, I suppose. Eh, there we go. I'll leave that the way it is now. I got a ton of knowledge. I can unlock. I guess the best part, and the reason you would do knowledge is just to have satellite coverage. Because this one, for its cost, is not that great. Because NPCs will continue to build stations. So this option isn't, well, very useful at all, really. Just at the start, you know where all the stations are. Not that cool. This option is the good option here because that satellite coverage is uh, all over this sector. They're all perfectly spaced out to give you the maximum amount of coverage. That's the option you want to go for if you're going to go through here. And it doesn't cost knowledge, it costs credits. And I can start out with as much credits as I want, basically. So for every sector that I choose to have unlocked in this start, just do the satellite coverage. It's perfect. Let's see here, the thing I actually wanted to see. Faction relations. You can get relations with, say, the Alliance of the Word, which is actually kind of a hard faction there. I don't understand what that is. Probably not worth it if it's costed knowledge points. You can just fly around. You can go fly and talk to the faction if you want. What will be worthwhile factions here to bump up? The Alliance of the Word will be one of the best ones to unlock at faction level or relation level 20 because it's difficult to get relations with them, even if you are using some of the more advanced ways to get relations. So that one is definitely worth it to bump up to at least 20. Anything more is just extra that you don't need, especially for the Alliance of the Word. You can make the pirates not want to plunder your ships. That could be an interesting start. So you can unlock, or not unlock, but you could start out with high relations with. I'm not seeing the dukes or the scale plate back here. Hmm. I'm playing the fallen families here, which is interesting because that is a faction that should plunder your ships, but they weren't a problem to that whole last playthrough. So, but you can start out like at 10 relation with everyone and basically buy all the ships that you want right at the start. That would be nice. Yaki's an interesting one. You can go buy their blueprints, but you have to start out with a fair amount of money to do that, and you have to know where they are, of course. Starting out, it doesn't cost any points to get these down to 0 at the very least. It's only when you go positive does it start costing stuff. So getting those down to 0 is a big help. That just saves some time. The vigor as well. Actually, the Vig has blueprints that you would want. So bumping the Vig up to 20 would give access to their habitat that you want. Because you want that habitat because it gives you higher skilled crew at the stations that you'll build with the habitats. So that one might not be obvious, but the habitat that you can buy from them is specifically the large, because why would you build any other habitat size than large? But I guess the other two, habitat, medium, and small, would also give you more skilled crew, but not a lot of people. So yeah, that one is one to think about. Being able to buy their blueprints right from the start of the game is really nice. So that's all the relation tab stuff. Here's one of the most interesting ones. So of course you want Dalbusta and Bosota at the start. The parented situation. Oh wow, I can just have this even though I didn't do it. I went the opposite way. Hmm. I would like to just cut out essentially starting this one from scratch, but it looks like, well, it doesn't take that long because I would like to go the other route if I'm ever gonna do that situation again. So I'll leave that at default. I also would go the patriarchy route if I that could be interesting. That should put Dalbusta on the funeral ship, and then you can, well, actually that might put him back at the. Okay, so I'd have to go through the split situation again if I want to go the opposite route with some extra steps. Argon Schism, that would severely weaken the Antigon and the Argon, and the Xenon would basically be a very difficult thing to control, especially right at the start of the game. You wouldn't, I guess it wouldn't be terrible at the start of the game, but having a weakened Antigon and Argon means that the Void and Haktiva's Choice, some of the main ingress points for Xenon into your universe, will be that much easier for the Xenon to push out, and they can get fairly aggressive. And right at the start of the game, you don't like that. So this one might be an interesting one to dance around if you choose the Schism. But the one I did was status quo. So default for that and then make a different choice later. Here's the one that could be interesting is neutral Yaki. Because the Terrans were definitely not neutral to the Yaki when I eliminated all the Xenon. They immediately turned the Asgard, pointed their nose right at the Yaki station, and then blew it up. So that was. We'll see if this is actually something interesting. I'm not going to start a new game right now. I'm just going through the options. Uh, that just never having to do this mission again is, oh, oh yeah, I like that one. Ah, this is interesting. So I know how to unlock that. Um, it's quite an interesting thing. You don't get the unique ship if you do that. That'll be something I will unlock later on, not right now. And then because I sided with North River, I was allowed to purchase infinite amount of astrids, just only one at a time. I actually have five in my save game because adventures, but that's a different thing. Uh, this is the other part of that. So it's unfortunate there's not more options in here to skip a lot of the starting quests. You either are sided already or the other option where I assume you decide against them. So I would like to see more options in this menu, just to skip out a lot of the setup and starting quest line up to the point where you actually need to go through the or you need to get into Leap of Faith. So I'd like to see more starting options there, or more options in this menu, because I would like to cut out all of that setup and just make get to the point where I can make the choice. So we'll see if that ever happens. I would like to cut out extra steps here as well, but that's fine. This one isn't that bad to go through. The North River one is kind of a pain. So having the Earl King fully upgraded at the start of the game would be very interesting. Hmm. Well, the big part of doing Boron DLC, which I did in like one 10-hour run. I did it all in one tower. Actually, it was two videos. It was like a 2-hour video that I split off for YouTube, and then a 10-hour video because I got tired of splitting it off. I just wanted to get through all of it without having to take breaks. So having all the tasks already completed is interesting as an option. I'd like one where none of the tasks have been completed, but well, I guess that's what this is. Yeah, I'd probably do that because as you're doing the Herald tasks and all the things like that, there are a lot of options you have available to you, but you don't really understand, and it's not very well explained. But like putting a um, what is that defense module called? Putting an administrative center on the station they have you build as part of a Herald tasks. They should then they should slate ships out to go to that station and defend or start claiming that system. So that's one of the options. It's not very well um, explained. You'd have to know you could do that in order to do that. So there are more options than just like having choosing this one. I don't think anybody would really want to do this because doing the tasks gives you options, I should say. So that might be cool. The actual doing the missions to get the Queendom back was not terrible either. Some people are having a lot of trouble with the Sanctuary of Darkness. But there's like mods. Of course, there's mods for this game. There are lots of ways you can mod that. So that's interesting as the options go. Here's one of the big. I just oh yeah, I can just skip to the end and do all the end ones. And I can just have that and just start the game. That's great. I like that a lot. I can just have that. Skipping the whole research tree like this is satisfying. Very, very satisfying. And even having that option as well. You have to have the Earl Kingdom blown up in order to get this option in the research tree. So you have to actually lose the Earl King one time in order to get that option. So I'm glad that I did lose the Earl King at one point and unlock that option to be selectable. That's really cool. Because now I don't have to start with the Earl King, I don't have to pay for it, but I can build it and I have it as an option here, riding through night and wind, or riding late through night and wind. Basically means that I have all of the Earl King blueprints. I don't have to go hunt down the Earl King vaults, which is why you would pick that option. And then if I wanted to, I could build the Earl King. I don't have to, I'm not forced into starting with it though. So there's a distinction there between what you can do. And I could just start the game. There's one thing I want to look at, which is how much money did I start out with, or can I start out with? I'm only allowed to start out with the slider maxes out. Can I type in a value bigger than that? Oh, yes, I can. Okay. There you go. So you just type in the value you want there. You could be really rich at the start of the game and just afford anything you want. Or, well, I could because I unlocked it. But that is the budgeted start. That's why you're seeing all this stuff at the bottom. Anyway, that was pretty cool. That was X4 in all of its entirety, minus the options that went in a different direction for some of the main storylines. But that was a full and complete run, including terraforming. I'm kind of sad to see that terraforming isn't represented here in any way, shape, or form. So going the extra mile and doing all of the terraforming didn't unlock anything for this menu. Is what I'm seeing. If I got that wrong, leave a comment down in the comments below the video. But I think it's not. It might be represented here. I'm not too sure about that one. I'll have to ask somebody. But anyway, that's the game. It was quite a ride, and playing the game got me to affiliate on Twitch, so that was cool. So yeah, thank you for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, and all the good stuff. And I will see you in the next video when I play the next episode of another game. Until then, see you next time. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. There we go.